bigger broad and impressed the skeptics who thought maybe that young Marvis could not handle the big men in the heavyweight division. He's in against another big one today, weighing in at 237 pounds, Joe Bugner, who has a record of 57, 9, and 1, and indeed 10 years ago fought the father, Joe Frazier, in 1973, and had the champion, the former champion at the time, in trouble in the 10th round, in the 11th round, wobbling him, but Frazier went on to win the decision. After a period of inactivity, Bugner came back to the wars and has won his last 4 bouts by knockout. An overhand right sending Dino Dennis into retirement, and here, after being butted accidentally by Winston Allen, a disturbed Joe Bugner comes in and lands a right-hand lead, scoring a knockout over Allen. And today he feels his experience will be too much for the son of the father he lost to 10 years ago. It's coming up, Frazier and Joe Bugner here on CBS Sports Saturday. Let's go to John Tesh. We had a chance to find out more about his dreams. It was 10 years ago, almost to the day, when Smokin' Joe Frazier, trying to reestablish himself as a heavyweight contender, dropped 23-year-old Joe Bugner to the canvas in the 10th round. But the young European champion rallied quickly, with a stinging right buckling Frazier's knees and disfiguring his left eye. Frazier hung on to win the decision. Today, the names are the same, but the roles are reversed. Joe Bugner is the aging fighter, trying to reestablish himself as a championship contender. And it is Frazier, not Smokin' Joe, but his son Marvis, looking to stake a claim among the ranked heavyweights. But some people are asking, who really wants this fight? Is it young Frazier fighting for himself, or is he fighting for his father, Smokin' Joe?
Well, I don't feel it's a thing that I have to do, but it's something that I want to do and something that I love to do. It's only natural for a young man to want to follow in his father's footsteps. If you look back in the Pilgrim days, you look back in the olden days, if your father was a carpenter, automatically you became a carpenter. If your father was a blacksmith, you were a blacksmith.
I don't want them to follow in my footsteps. I love to see them chase the ladies and have fun, because I didn't have the time to do that. So I want them to do some of the things that I didn't do that I know will be an enjoyment and fun to them. But you don't want to do that.
For both fighters, their careers are family-run operations. Smokin' Joe has seen all that is good and bad in the game, and he keeps a tight rein on his son's progress.
I'm the leader. I look everything over carefully, and then I send them in to do the job.
I'm not in charge, If they say fight King Kong, I'm ready. All I have to do is get my body in condition and my mind and spirit, and I'm ready.
Marvis Frazier is small for a heavyweight, just barely nudging the 200-pound mark. Today, he'll give up about 35 pounds to the more experienced Bugner, but Frazier views this as an advantage.
Well, if you look at Joe Louis, when he was starting out, he weighed like 198, 196. You look at my pop, when he started out, he was weighing what,
196?
196. And all through his fight career, he fought at 205. This is a new breed of heavyweight that's coming out now. All these guys is 220, 230.
Gets in the way.
I think they're out of shape,
Bugner is managed by his wife, Marlene, a former political writer who is unimpressed by the seamy side of boxing.
Do you think they're vastly different from politicians in what they do? It's just a different form of business, and I find that as a businesswoman, I think of Joe, apart from being my husband, as a product that I sell. And he's a very good product.
There you see. and I can't fail with a woman like this next to me. And not only that, I sleep with her, you see, that helps as well.
It's been a long and rocky road for Joe Bugner, once the 4th-ranked heavyweight in the world. After going into semi-retirement for nearly 5 years, Bugner's coming off 4 straight knockouts in London. Last October, a headbutt from Winston Allen sliced open Bugner's cheek. Suddenly, a new fighter appeared. Traditionally a defensive boxer, Bugner was now the angered, charging 240-pound bull. Then in February, against Dino Dennis, he worked Dennis into the corner and actually lifted him off the canvas with a series of vicious uppercuts to the body. The new aggressive Bugner was back. One powerful right hand, and the fight was over in 3 rounds.
I have to be honest here. I just hope that the kid is ready. I mean, because it doesn't matter what you and I may think. The most important thing is, what is that kid thinking when people are saying, yeah, you'll never be great as Smoking Joe, or you'll never be as great as your dad, or whatever. Who wants to live with that? He should have taken up tennis, or he should have taken up football or something else.
I feel that I've established myself as my own man. You know, I don't believe that I have to be Joe Frazier. I believe that I have to be Marvis Frazier.
There is great interest in this young man because of his father, Joe, and as Marvis says, he's his own man. He's going for his 10th victory as a heavyweight professional, and he's in against another big man today who wants to find himself back in the top ranks of the heavyweights. It's coming up. Let's go back to you, Brent. We are here at the Sands Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey for a 10-round heavyweight bout. Marvis Frazier and Joe Bugner. Hello again, everyone. Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy, and of course our Sugar Ray Leonard still recuperating from some minor surgery, and we expect to have him back real soon, and we'll say hello to Ray out there. I'm sure he's watching today. Gil, of course, Marvis Frazier, the young man with 9 professional bouts, very much a known quantity. There's nothing complicated about his style.
No, nothing at all, Tim. He's a high-energy fighter, tries to work inside, but the key is he works 3 minutes of every round.
Well, of course, Joe Bugner feels that despite that youth and the fact that he's a very industrious fighter, that his experience, Bugner's experience, will be too much, and that he's also too big for him.
Well, you know, Bugner's going to have to fight Marvis the same way he fought Joe. He's going to have to try to keep him on the end of the jab, drop right hands on him. And again, he has all the experience. But I like that youth and I like that energy.
Well, Joe Bugner is convinced otherwise. We had a chance to ask him why he thinks he can win this fight.
The fact is that even if he was fortunate enough to win, where does he go from there? He has to fight experienced fighters after me. So, you know, the problem is that is the man big enough to fight full-blown heavyweights or is he not? And I don't think he's at 198 or 200.
Well, of course, Joe Bugner has not been an active fighter in recent years. However, since he got back into the ring a little more seriously, he has scored 4 consecutive knockouts. Grant you, not against top people, but he did send Dino Dennis into retirement, and he thinks that he is very much ready for the young man Marvis Frazier, and he knows what a great opportunity it is to launch himself back into the top ranks of the heavyweights in what is a rather thin division for sure. Well, of course, Marvis Frazier not too concerned about the experience of Joe Bugner, as you'll hear in his comments.
Well, I feel that I've been an experienced guy. Also, I've worked with Michael Dokes. I've worked with Tim Witherspoon. I've worked with Joe Frazier. And I work with guys who had just as much experience as Mr. Bugner. So with my pop in my corner, I don't see any way that I can lose.
Marvis Frazier, of course, has quite a crowd of people here in Atlantic City who have come over from Philadelphia, very nearby, and he is certainly the hometown favorite in that context this afternoon. Unbeaten in 9 professional bouts, weighing in at just over 200 pounds, and of course, with the bigger and stronger Joe Bugner, again, Marvis Frazier, as he will continue to do as he ascends to the ranks, finds himself in against a much bigger man, but it is not a concern to them. He points out that his father Joe was not a big heavyweight in his time, and he became the heavyweight champion of the world. So the win over Broad obviously gave him tremendous confidence because James Broad came in at 230 pounds. So we'll see what he does today against the former European champion Joe Bugner. We'll be back with Frazier and Bugner after these words from your local stations. Atlantic City, New Jersey. Let's join our ring announcer, Michael Buffer.
State of New Jersey, in the red corner. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event from Atlantic City in the great state of New Jersey. In the red corner, with a record of 57 wins, 9 losses and 1 draw, with 38 knockouts, weighing in at 237 3/4 pounds, in the white trunks with blue trim, from Great Britain, Joe Bugner. And in the blue corner, with an undefeated record of 9 victories, 6 by knockout, weighing in at 201.5 pounds, in the red trunks with white trim, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Marvis KO2 Frazier. And the referee is Tony Perez.
There's the referee, Tony Perez, who will not figure in the scoring as he brings the fighters to the center of the ring for the final instructions. Looking at the tail of the tape, 33-year-old Joe Bugner, who 10 years ago fought the father of Marvis Frazier. Marvis, 22 years of age, weighed in at 201.5. Bugner at 237 3/4. He does appear to be in outstanding physical condition, very relaxed. And Bugner, realizing, of course, that the victory here over the young name fighter Marvis Frazier, to put his name back in the top rank